What's up, sports fans? Welcome back to the Zebra Lounge with Mike and Andrew. I'm Mike. Another January in Chicago, second year in a row. That means we got the Bears in the playoffs.
Yeah,
guys, who do you see being the most difficult matchup for them in the second round?
Well, I'm going to go right to the obvious choice and say the Saints. I think, their defense, they're a little shaky. That worries you, but that team is going to be able to score points against anybody in this weak NFC right now. And I think they might be able to score enough, even if they come into Soldier Field. In the second round, obviously, we're not going to see them. But overall, I think I see them as our biggest obstacle.
They can score, but can they stop anybody?
Yeah, see, my worry for the Bears in the playoffs is an aggressive defense. And I think Bill Parcells and the Cowboys will bring a really aggressive defense. And I just worry Rex can lose the game for us. I think our defense could keep us in and against most offenses. So I'll take the Cowboys.
In the second round, I have had nightmares of DeMarcus Ware just hammering into Grossman and make him throw up punts to the U.S. secondary.
Yeah. I think what we're talking about, though, obviously, is like they can lose to a lot of teams. I mean,
they lost to the Packers.
Oh, Jesus. That wasn't pretty. That wasn't pretty. And you look, obviously they can lose to anyone. That's what we're bringing up. They can beat anyone, too, but teams are looking at the film on Rex, and he's trying to make that adjustment and go short. Packers were jumping those little slants. They were all over him underneath. They got to figure out something new and come out with a couple of new tricks up their sleeves, or they're going to die fast and quiet.
And now you're taking the Cowboys. Doesn't that Lions loss scare you at all?
Yeah, I mean, just like a number of Bears lost do, it scares me, but at the same time, I think that Bill Parcells has a master. I mean, I think he's got these guys thinking, it's us against the world. That's a really talented team. I think Tony Romo, he scares me. I think he's a really good player. I think they've got depth in a lot of places.
But shouldn't they have been more motivated to beat the Lions? Because there was a chance that they would miss the playoffs.
Absolutely.
If they didn't win that game.
Absolutely. They have plenty of flaws, as every team in the NFC does. I just don't like the matchup with them. I'm not saying we can't beat them. I just don't like the matchup.
Now, two teams you guys haven't picked are actually the two that I'm most worried about. First of all, the Seahawks get no talk anymore. After being 1 year away from the Super Bowl last season. They're finally healthy, and it's really tough to beat a good team twice in the same season.
Sure.
Which is what the Bears would have to do.
Carolina Panthers.
Don't even bring that up.
Right, there you go.
I don't see the Seahawks getting past Dallas. They lost both of their starting cornerbacks in Trufant and Herndon, and I think Parcells, given the time to plan, is going to find a way to exploit that. They do have a quick and talented team, and like we said, anybody in the NFC can lose to anybody, and anybody can beat anybody.
True.
But I think Parcells is a different maker in the playoffs.
But if they get through, the Bears did not see Alexander, and you got Hasselbeck back. They're both at full strength now. The offense has got.
Well, that full strength is kind of iffy. I think they're still knocking some rust off, and they're probably where a football team would be in October, which if you're the Bears is good because that's when we beat. But in the playoffs, usually it's the other way around.
Okay, what about the hottest team in the NFC right now, the Eagles? Jeff Garcia doesn't scare you guys?
Yeah, I mean, they scare me. Jeff Garcia, what did he put up that 1 year he threw when he was throwing to Terrell Owens?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he scares me, but I guess with Philadelphia, their defense, it's good, but it doesn't scare me the way some of the other defense do. And like I said, defense is really, an aggressive defense, what scares me. That is what's killed us this year.
So, offensively, too, the Eagles have changed their identity and become more of a running team, and I like the way they match up against your Westbrooks and Buckhalters. I think the Bears, their biggest problems right now are without Vasher, without Tillman.
Right.
The glaring loss of Mike Brown is showing up more and more, and the passing game is really where I get scared. And I think
Reggie Brown,
Garcia's good, but he's a West Coast guy. The Bears are going to keep stuff in front of them. They're not going to get beat on big plays, and I think they match up pretty well. Now, against the Saints, Drew Brees can beat you a million different ways, and I think that's a bigger problem.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think the Saints, I could see us squeezing that offense out of the side.
The be-all, end-all biggest problem for the Bears is the Bears. If they show up and play if Rex Grossman shows up, they're good. The Bears are the biggest Jekyll and Hyde team in the playoff field right now. If the mad scientist shows up behind the quarterback, we're screwed. But if you get the, calm, cool, collected guy, they're going to be all right.
Okay, well, Cowboys, Saints, Giants, consensus here is the biggest Bears opponent is the Bears. For Mike and Andrew, I'm Mike saying we'll see you next week.